Thank you. So our story is bizarre. One of my friends sent me an email, and it had all this stuff, and it said, I want you to check out these socks, VOXX socks, and there was all this detail in the email, and I'm just working through my day, and I just don't even read it. I'm like, whatever, I don't want to check it out. So he continues to bug me with this VOXX stuff. And he said, I'm going to send you a pair of socks, one for Lucy, one for Libby, and one for your husband. And I want you to just try them. And so I went on and I started Googling VoxxLife, the sock. I started watching the testimonials. And for a living, I work in the sports management area. So I have owned companies. I have access to hundreds of thousands of athletes. And so I knew instantly why he wanted me to see these socks. But through my Googling, I realized that this sock was more than an athletic performance balance sock. I started watching the testimonials and I started saying, oh my goodness, this sock I really don't necessarily need for Liv, who's a competitive high school cheerleader. I need this sock for Lucy. So when I was 39 years old, I thought I was done having children, and I was blessed with this little nugget here. And the minute that she was born, she was very sick. So by the time she was 3, we were told by our doctors we have to move out of our state because she will not be able to survive there. She continued to get pneumonia, had lots of scar tissue. She has 409 noted food allergies. She was in the hospital 1 year, 39 times in a year overnight. By the time she was 2 years old, she would say, Mommy, I don't want any more drinks in my arm. IVs. So as she grew up, she started having lots of challenges with learning. And, you know, we like to say she kind of has special abilities versus a lot of disabilities. But we've had a lot of testing done, and Lucy has been diagnosed with autism and a visual learning disability and dyslexia, and there's a big list. But her personality, even though she's looking a little shy right now, she really wants, if there was music on, she'd be dancing on this stage. She's very outgoing, so it didn't kind of click with the whole autistic side of things. So we kept drilling and drilling and drilling with testing, and we're still doing a lot of that. But through that, she has an IEP plan at school. And math is hard for her, especially because it now at the 4th grade level has reading, right? Lots of reading math problems. And so Lucy will cry and she doesn't want to do homework. And so in her IEP, she doesn't have to do homework. She works hard enough in the day to process the room. When she reads or when she sees the room, her eye literally stops after everything she sees. So if the room is set up the way that I explain it to her, or like today, what I've told her we're gonna do, she can get through. But if anything changes in that pattern, it's very hard. So again, no homework, you know, definitely not math. Reading is hard, but she'll try. And so I got these socks in the mail, and my friend kept calling me, did you put them on Lucy yet? Did you put them on Lucy yet? And I was getting annoyed. Like, I was feeling like I wanted to do this with just Lucy and I because it's very personal. Because first of all, I waited all week and I think these socks are gonna cure everything in my life, right? So my teenage daughter gets home and I said, Livia, I wanna balance test you. And my friend was on FaceTime, who is a VOXX representative, and we did this. And she was a bull with those socks on, just like you saw up here. You could not move her. But then we did a flexibility assessment on her. And she literally, we measured, and she literally went about 30%, she became 30% more flexible. And she looked at me and said, Mom, what is this wizardry? Like, what is this? Okay, that's my 14-year-old. So I thought that was super cool. So Lucy and I went to our gym, and I didn't let my friend who sent these socks to me watch, and I didn't want anybody watching. We went to our gym, and I took a medicine ball, and I threw it at her. And what happened? What did you do? Tell them what you did. Okay, she's not going to tell you, but which is really weird. But anyway, she caught the ball 15 times. Lucy can't catch a ball. If I ever threw a ball at Lucy, she would run. And she would probably say I'm child abusing her. So we went home, and she gets occupational therapy for writing and for balance and all sorts of stuff. And she had the socks off, and she wrote. It was very light. You couldn't really read it because it was so light. Well, I put the socks on and I had her write, and you could read it. There was like pressure in her writing, and it was the very pressure that her occupational therapist looked for. It was there. And so I'm freaking out a little, and my husband, who all week before was like, don't get excited about these socks. Don't put all your eggs in one basket. Like, I don't like that you're obsessing over these socks. He saw it, and he was like, okay, this is cool. Well, I put her to bed, and she has a hard time going to sleep. So I thought, well, maybe if she wears the socks, she'll sleep. Like, maybe this will be good, and she'll sleep. So around midnight, I heard something, and I creeped into her room, and I instantly heard this. And I looked on her bed, and there was this packet. She doesn't want me to show you the writing portion of it, but there's 50 pages of math in here. 50. With written words, like word problems. I didn't let her know that I knew she was awake, and I removed the papers from her bed, and I went outside her door and I peeked in, and I saw her petting her little kitty cat, so I knew she was awake. And I went to bed, and I didn't want to draw attention to it. So I woke up in the morning to get her ready, and Lucy has a hard time. Again, she has occupational therapy for her fine motor skills, so she doesn't button her pants and, tie her shoes and zip her zippers, and there's some stuff that goes with that, but she was dressed and showered, and her hair was done, and she was like energetic and not tired. The kid didn't sleep all night. So I addressed, what is this? What did you do? She said, I did math. I did it all night. Mom, I got smart. I figured it out. So she took her math paper, because she did, on top of all the work that she made up, she did her whole week's math problems in one night. So you're supposed to do one column each night. She did the entire 5 days, because this was Monday night. And she gave it to her teacher, and it was all right. And her teacher hung it on the classroom board. So that was like very cool, right? Like cool. Well, she came home that night, and I thought, oh, we're in trouble. This kid was up all night. There's meltdowns that come along with some of the stuff that we go through, and I thought, I'm in for it. But instead, she went in her room, and she played teacher. And she stood at her dresser, and she did more math. And then the next night, she came in my bedroom, and her little mouth is going a mile a minute about how you do this equation and this equation, and she thought it was so hard, but she realized it's not hard at all. And so, for me, I don't need a job. I'm happy with everything I do in life. I have, I've done a good job to where we have choices, and I don't leave my family to, go to do things like this unless I just feel like there's a higher calling for me to be here. There's hope. For me, when you see your kid struggle, and she's so beautiful, and her personality is so bright, and auditorily she can talk to you like a young adult, but on paper she has no IQ, and she wants to be like everybody else, right? She doesn't want kids knowing that she can't read, or that she doesn't know how to do math, or that she can't tumble as good as they are. So even if every math equation was wrong, even if it was, she had the most confident, and she has the most confident attitude about math right now, and about learning, and about being able to share. That's huge. And, as parents, we all want what's best for our kids, right? And so we work hard with Lucy on life skills and different things, because Lucy's gonna run a company someday. Lucy's gonna do whatever Lucy wants to do. But I think those socks are gonna help her get there, because it's kind of like magic for us. So, again, I don't, my daughter tonight, just to give you a little history, my other daughter has her homecoming football game. She's a varsity cheerleader. I don't miss those things. My choices are very deliberate on what I do with my time and our family. And we're here because I truly can tell you that something happened with those socks. I haven't told many people. I told 5 of my friends. But I intend to tell the world, and it's not about watching $20, $20, $20 add up in a bank account. It's just not. It's about helping people to feel better. And, I mean, like we feel better, right? You don't want to say anything? Not one thing about your socks? Okay, well, I'm going to tell you that I wanted to cancel because Lucy broke her leg this week, and there was a lot of other variables, and I was feeling bad about leaving my other daughter and not going to her homecoming game. And she said to me, Mom, I